Good. Good. All right. You have a question,
Yes.
Dr. Ford?
Yes.
All right. Now again, everyone who was running for Yeadon Borough Council was invited. These are the only individuals who showed up this evening. There's four seats up for Yeadon Borough Council. And there's about 8 candidates, right? About 8 candidates. Okay? All right, let's get informed. First question.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
Good evening again. I wanted to, well, what I'm looking for in counselors are people who know the art of compromise without compromising their own principles. People who are creative and yet do not get power drunk because of the office. So my question is, what do you think the art of compromise is, and do you think you could do that without compromising your own principles?
So I'm going to take this one. This is one of my favorite questions. When I came on council almost 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, the idea that was presented to me was that I was part of the team. So I didn't go along with the program of the team. And what I had to tell my colleagues on council was, first of all, I answer first and foremost to my belief system, which is God, first and foremost. And as long as I know my decisions align with what's right, I'm going to stand by that. To answer your question, Dr. Ford, you should never compromise who you are at the core of who you are by just going along to get along. Sometimes you might be the only person on council that stands on what you believe to be right. But if the body is going in a direction that is for the betterment of the town and what the people are asking for, then you may not agree with it, but you may say, the people who put me in this seat, they want to see this happen. And, you know, I can kind of see how this could work out, and I'm going to do what I can to work with my colleagues to make this successful. At the end of the day, we are a body. It's not about one person's decision. It's not about the president's decision. It is about the whole body coming together. You can't come on in these seats and have your own agenda that, oh, it's going to be my way or the highway, whether you're in that chair or whether you're in the general body. So hopefully, whoever is reelected or elected, they have that mindset.
Ms. Trueheart? Thank you, Ms. Beatty.
Thank you. And if I could add that one of the things that I learned many years ago was instilled because of my beliefs, as she said, but also what I saw modeled to me and my family is you learn to work with other people properly. And one of the things that I learned many years ago, and as a child and into adulthood, is there is never a time when everybody is going to agree with you about everything all the time. That's impossible. But again, if you are looking to be a part of a team, then you recognize that this is not about me, particularly when you're serving on a governmental body. You are there serving the community, serving the people that elected you in that seat. So the bottom line is when you are making those decisions, you recognize that we're going to hear everybody's input, but we need to come to the consensus of what is in the best interest of the community. And it may not be my idea this time. And even if we disagree, again, the maturity is we can agree to disagree, but come to what is right and appropriate for the community.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Mr. Francis?
Yes, I would like to say with that, there's always a word called compromise. Compromise, you also have a word called synergy. Synergy is working for one common goal. Our common goal is Yeadon. And the one thing that we work with when we're on council is teamwork. Everybody doesn't think the same, but when you all come together, you all have different skill sets. You come to an agreement, you have executive meetings, where you go in and discuss things. You don't come out and fight and do different things. We all come with different skill sets. It's about learning how to work together. You learn about that in the military, okay? And that's a strong thing that leaders should be doing, to work together, to bring us together. Because again, our community suffers when we don't get on point.
Ms. Dix.
So, in my daily position, in my professional career, I have a saying that I model, and I try to be politically correct in what I do in dealing with issues. I deal with all types of personalities, all types of customer issues, and in doing that, my goal is to make sure that I offer a resolution. I hear the customer, I find out what can be done. That means that I'm coordinating various departments to come to a resolution. So with that being said, as a member of the Borough Council, if elected, my goal would be to definitely bridge the gap and to understand that I have to work together with them, but also, if I do disagree, then I have to do due diligence and do my research and come back and explain with facts and data to say, hey, it sounds good, but it's not going to be good for the long haul, for the entire community, right? Because I am the community, right? And if we succeed, you succeed. And this is where all of the residents hold us accountable, because guess what? We are neighbors at the end of the day. Whether I know your name, we're all neighbors. We all live in this community, and I believe everyone aspires for us to move forward for the betterment of Yeadon, not just for Leslie Dennis.
Thank you very much. Ms. Alex, Ms. Lewis.
I grew up as one of 7 children, so I would not have gotten far if I was not good at compromising. There's no way a family of 10, Grandma included, can survive as a family if people are not good at compromising. And, you know, I was pretty young when my little brothers got bigger than me, so I learned real young, real fast. You can't make anybody do anything. You have to give them a good reason. If they like your reason, they'll agree with you and do what you like. If they don't, they won't. So compromise is just life. There are some times, however, that things are just morally wrong, and you have to stand up for what's right, even if you're standing alone. One thing I'd like to mention is Mr. Francis mentioned having discussions in private and executive sessions. That's actually illegal. That's the Sunshine Act violation. There are only very few things that councilors are allowed to discuss in private. Regular discussions need to be at the public meeting and done in public. There's certain exceptions.
Thank you very much. Mayor.
Couple of things. As the mayor, the mayor's role, if you read the borough handbook, represents the people. The mayor doesn't have to vote for that reason. He's more, or she's more neutral, and tries to keep things in order. But to your question, Dr. Ford, I would say that it's a great question, and I believe that all elected officials should have the spirit, not just of compromise, but of listening and factoring. We represent the people. You voted us in to make decisions for you. That's a republic form of government. And I can say that what happened the last time, and we have to learn from our mistakes. There was a historian that said those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So we have to learn that what happened before as a mayor is that people did not listen. And to Ms. Liz's point, not this council, but people got together behind closed doors, made decisions, and when we came to council, there was no deliberation. And they made they kept to that decision. And when we brought facts to bear, like I said, if you fire the chief, we're going to be sued, and we're going to without due process, and we're going to
Mr. Mayor, no.
all of that stuff. We have to learn from that. And as a public, you have to hold us accountable when you see that's not happening. So to your point, Dr. Ford, great question, but it's a pertinent thing to bring before the
Now, Mr. Mayor, now, when you see my hand, that means it's time. It's time. Like, you gotta keep this.
This is important.
That's correct. Mr. Francis, I see you. I understand that your comments were taken out of context. I'm gonna allow you to get to speak on that, but let's wait. Can we wait a little bit, please?
Yeah.
All right, please. I'm gonna get back to you. I ain't gonna let you go down like that. All right, I have one right here. Then we're gonna go to your question there. Then we're gonna go to, I'm sorry, the man in the orange hat. Right? Right, and then we'll go over here, okay? Now remember your order, okay? Remember your order. All right, but right now, okay?
Okay, so, hi, I just want to make sure that we, that the understanding here is, that we're not miseducating anyone. There are times where there are permitted to be closed-door sessions, when we're discussing contracts, when we're discussing real estate, when we're discussing personnel. Those things we don't discuss on the floor as a council. And in the past, there have been some instances where other administrations have done that. We haven't done that in this administration. And the allegation is just, you can see for yourself, right? For the past 2 years, there haven't been any arguments, there haven't been any canceled meetings. There's a reason that the tabloids are right at the checkout at the supermarket, because it's fun and it's interesting and it's gossip. You know, you haven't seen Yeadon in any tabloids in the past 2 years. And for those who continue to say that this borough is, our council is out of order, I challenge you to take a look at any one of our meetings over the past 2 years, and there has not been any debate. In the years prior, when there was not chaos. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. When we do say we come back with data and evidence, as Ms. Dick said, this is that data and evidence. You can check out all of our meetings. So with that being said, my question is more of a challenge, right? I am a solution-oriented individual. I don't just come with problems, right? Once we identify a problem, if you're not also coming with a solution or some positive suggestion, then you're just exacerbating the problem, right? So my question to this body is that, and even for you, Mayor, 1 minute, how would you be a solution-oriented force? It's very easy to complain about what's happening, but being a part of the solution is the challenge, and that's what I would want to elect someone to do, to come collaborate and be a part of the solution. So how would you become a part of the solution?
We'll start with Mr.